Hi everyone, welcome to this episode of SAP Business One Web Client. Today we are going to be working on how to navigate the SAP Business One Web Client navigation. It's very easy to navigate, very intuitive interface, and you're gonna love it. It's actually mobile friendly. I'll show you how to navigate on mobile device. We are going to delve into um, every aspect of SAP Business One modules on the web client and how you can easily, navigate through some of these modules and how to make use of your time or reduce time constraint when you're working with SAP Business One web client. Uh, Without taking much of your time, let's delve into the application proper. So here I'm going to log in as the super user, which is the administrator. So the application is logging in, and here we are on the home page. Um, right here on the home page, we have the module tabs where we can access each of the modules from the CRM modules for sales to sales module where you can create a sales quotation, you can create a sales order, you can monitor sales order in real time. So you can see there are 77 open orders, and this information, this widget is actually uh, a live widget. And when I mean live, I mean it's a real-time data. It keeps updating each minute or second, depending on uh, the criteria you set, the minute changes or criteria you set. Then we have other uh, documents because SAP regard some of this information as documents. So we have the deliveries to track all your sales deliveries to your customers. You can create a sales delivery. You can track all your invoices as well and other information as well. Then we have in the purchasing module, you can see the when I clicked on any of the module tabs, uh, I keep redirecting to the next page, which is the module itself. So where we can also have access to some information like the purchase request for procurement request, create a purchase request, a purchase quotation. You can track all the list of purchase quotations that have been generated in the system and so on. You can also find other information like you can create a goods received for receiving services or uh, receiving items from your suppliers or vendors and so on and so forth. And other informations like creating a goods return request when you want to return to your customer or I mean your supplier can create a return request to notify the supplier about a return that needs to be approved. Then other informations like you can perform what you call credit memo, you can raise a credit down payment and so on and so forth. All right. Also, another very easy way for you to navigate in SAP Business One web client is through scrolling. You can see when I scroll, if you notice, the module tabs keep changing. So I can scroll from uh, top to bottom, and the system keep navigating me directly. And you can see this is intuitive. And also, you can also go into each of these processes proper. Like let's say, for example, I want to manage a business partner. I can go to the business partner. Probably I want to see a customer or a supplier information. So the business partner is the module where you can have access or manage your customers and suppliers real time. So if I click on this, you can see the list of all your customers and you can make some selection criteria. Like for example, I have uh, uh, you can search for a particular customer or a supplier. You can search by code. If you want to search by customer code, I can do that. I can as well, you know, select this report based on a category. So let's say, for example, I'm not going to search for customers. I just want to pick all both customers and suppliers so you can see the result of this. So you can also navigate by selecting if you just want to see all your vendors in proper, I can select just the vendors and can see, voila, I have all the vendors here. Then also very important is tracking some of your customers' information. Like we have, for example, Maxitech. So we have all the information of Maxitech, their current balance in the system. You can see that. You can also navigate into their account to see details of that account. Like for example, here I can see the details of the customer. So the general info is showing me some of the information of the customer, like the federal tax ID, the customer phone number, and email address. And we have the business partner tabs where you can access other information like the additional information, uh, where you can see the shipping type. You can manage if you have a portal for your customers or your supplier, and you can assign their password, you can manage their business type, and so on and so forth. I can also see other information like the contact person. This is an example of a contact person, someone you're in contact with in the organization. You can manage their addresses, their payment terms, their payment run, where you have the customer bank information to track their incoming bank payment, and they are also, if they happen to be a vendor or a supplier, this payment method will show the outgoing payment terms that you have agreed or in common with the customer or the vendor. All right, then we also have the accounting tab to see all the accounting information, including their general ledger, maybe the account payables GL, or account receivable GLs. For these are accounting information. Then we have properties. The properties that helps you to group your customers or your suppliers into uh, some level of categories. Then, if you have a reason to attach, uh, you, maybe you have an electronic document attachment that you need to, assign to the customer, you can do that. So let's go into other informations. Other informations like the account balance. We have the account balance where you can see the credit balance of the customer. You can see the deliveries of the customer. You can also track all the open invoices, open orders that have not yet been converted to, that have not been delivered. Orders that have not been delivered. These are open deliveries that have not yet been converted to invoice. Then you can also check the customer balances, their check balances, and the credit limit utilization. So if I'm going to delve into the credit limit utilization, so it's meant to track the credit limit that is assigned to the customer. So if a customer has exhausted their credit limit, then you can see that their account is red. And it means when you try to raise an invoice, or you try to raise a sales order, anything that is going to trigger the account to inflate, the system is going to either warn you based on the configuration that you set on this account. It's either going to warn you or it's going to reject uh, the transaction. So there are other action fields we have here, like the edit action menu. So the edit action gives you the uh, authorization to be able to edit or make changes to the customer information. This also applies to a document that you are working on, that you might be currently working on. Like, let's say, for example, maybe a sales order or a purchase order document that you are working on. And it can be easily, edited. So when you are done, you can just click on the update button at the bottom right of the system, and you can see the notification prompting you that the changes have been made successfully. If you have authorization to delete a customer or a supplier, you can do that here. You can duplicate this information, this customer information. You can also create related activities like a phone number activity, an email activity, and other activity. You can track those information here. Now, very important is the create action button. You can see from here, I can perform some actions, like I can create an activity on this customer, like a phone call activity, a scheduling. If you are actually tracking an opportunity, a sales opportunity with this customer, you can do that with this activity. So you want to know what has been done. Probably you schedule a meeting with this customer. You can, manage those activities by using all these options. So you can schedule probably a phone call, or a meeting, or a task, or a campaign or any type of activities that you can call, and automatically the system will help you track this information. So you can just schedule the timing for the activity, like the start time, the end time, and so on. All right, I'm not going to save this, so I'm just going to cancel, and the system redirects me back to the business partner page. So under this action button, let's say I want to raise a sales quotation or a sales order in general. So if I click on the sales order, you can see automatically the system adds the customer information, and I can just come here and enter the date of the sales order. And if there's a remark, I can just enter those information. Then in the item details, let's pick some items that we want to order for, the customer ordered for actually. So let's pick these two items, and so you can see automatically the system already picked those items for me. Then I can just come here, the quantities are added, the prices are added for me. If you want to assign a discount, if you have the authorization, you can do that. You can also change the quantity of the items that the customers is buying. So I can change this to 2. And by default, the system will automatically calculate the total price for the item. If the customer is requesting for freight, you can add freight and the cost of the freight to this line, but we're not going to do that. So I'm just going to remove that. And you can see automatically the system has calculated the sales order document, and other logistics information like the ship to address and the bill to address are automatically assigned for you. You can see the accounting status, the journal remark has been generated. If there's a cancellation date, the reason for the cancellation date, the required date, the federal tax ID of the customer, and every other information that applies. Then very important is the attachment. I know many organizations will want to, have a reason to attach documents. So you can equally do that directly from the attached document. If there's an electronic document that matches the sales order that the customer sends, or the sales quotation or the sales order that the customer sent. So after all this information are entered, you can just click on add and view, and you can see the system has added the operation successfully, and automatically this order has been generated. So you can equally convert this order to an invoice or a delivery directly from the system. So here I can just say copy to delivery or invoice, and automatically, just like you are working on the desktop client, the system automatically tracks that. So let's say I want to copy to invoice. So here you can see the credit limit utilization that I was talking about. The system is now warning me that the customer has exceeded the limit by 12,766 British pounds. So do I want to continue? I'm just going to click yes. Now the invoice is now generated. All the information has been copied from the sales order, including all the items and the quantities that are generated. You can see them here, and including the price. So if there's any attachments, you see it. Every information are actually copied from the sales order. So here I can just click on add and view, and I'm still being prompted of the credit limit utilization and say yes. All right, so that is that for about posting an invoice. So let's continue with the other information. Like, you can also navigate through the payment. You can navigate to the payment terms, inventory and transactions. You can see what inventories you have. You can post probably in the next section where we need to work with inventory processes in SAP Business One Web client. We can, learn how to post goods issue, goods receipts, learn how to perform what you call inventory or stock counts from the web client and so on. Now, you can also, for the manufacturing team of manufacturing operative, you can use the production module to make your transaction. So all these are possible with SAP Business One Web Client, the modern web client. Then we also have the accounting processes for managing all your finances, for tracking all your chart of accounts, your journal entries, your fixed asset, everything that you can think of within the accounting standard process is possible. Then we have the services for service companies, service-based company for their servicing operation. Now, under the administration is actually meant for you to be able to configure the system. So SAP is not actually releasing all the configuration to web client because most of the configuration can be done from desktop client. But if you are a user and you want easy access to your modules, you want easy access to your tools, you can easily use SAP Business One Web Client. But for administrator who are going to be making changes to the system configuration, I think it's best to use the what's it called desktop client. Although there are some configurations that you can do here in the general setup, you can also see company details, states, and so on and so forth. Then you can manage approval processes. You can set up approval processes from SAP Business One Web Client. You can manage some configuration within the sales and purchase, here in the system. You can also manage some business partner configuration, including banking configuration and some other configuration within the inventory and so on. And even in the accounting operations, you can set up some accounting configuration like your currencies, your projects. You can set up project transaction codes and so on. Period indicator. You can set up your period indicator. You can set up your opening balances or upload your opening balances and so on. Then we have the service configuration where you can, set up service origin and so on and so forth. Without taking much of, we are not going to really delve into it. This is just to show you how to navigate the SAP Business One Web Client. Now let's go back to the application proper from the home page. Here, I just would quickly want to show you that how it works on the mobile aspect. So you can see I'm switching to the mobile version of the application. So it's possible for us to easily navigate to all the modules from here. You can see these are all the modules. Like let's say for example, I want to manage sales. You can create a sales quotation from your mobile, and the system gives you that flexibility. You can see this is happening from my mobile, and you can easily work with creating any of your users from here, or you can perform any transaction within the SAP Business One Web Client. So you can see that how intuitive and mobile friendly it is from any part of the application. So this is really intuitive. It's good. It's easy for you, but especially for the sales team who happens to be on the road, or they are always on the road. They want to see feasibility into stock, or they want to manage some transactions. So let's say, for example, I want to see my item. I want to know what I have in my item inventory or the inventory list. So you can see these are some of the inventory transactions. These are some of the items we have in the system. You can navigate to them. I can create an item from here if I have the authorization. I can also, set some selection criteria based on some of my preferences, and the system help me does that. So let's say, for example, I want to see item A01. So this is the item information, JB printer, and I can scroll down to the logistic aspect, the purchasing aspect. So here I can click a drop down and say, okay, let me see the inventory transaction data. So I can see the inventory transaction data. You can see the warehouse location. Here I can see the total quantity. So you can see in stock value, what is committed, what has been ordered, and the item cost as we speak. So these are intuitive information that is readily available to you anytime, anywhere within the system. And it's very easy for users who are on the go or cloud users who happens to love to work on their mobile, and you can see how intuitive it is. So let's switch back. This is just a general way of showing you how it works generally. So I'm switching back to the desktop environment. So here we have also very important is the analytics section. I'm sure at the time when we are going to cover the analytics. I'm going to show you uh, how to create some of these analytics features, how to make changes to some of these features, how to explore them, how to change the charts, and make use of some of this feature in the analytics section. All right, so if you have any question or you want some support, please feel free to reach out to us in the link below. Uh, this is SAP Business One Web Client. Really appreciate you for taking your time out to watch this. Thank you. Do like and share and subscribe to this channel for more information, and let's work together for more videos. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.